Assalamu alaikum. Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Abdul Shakur, Professor of Psychiatry at Sheikh Zayed Hospital, Lahore. Today, we will discuss an important but often neglected area. That area is between rheumatology and psychiatry. So, for a while, I would assume as a resident of a painful scalpel. But before we start our topic, I would like to say thank you to Professor Tafazlia Mahmood and his team for organizing such a wonderful conference, RUMACOM Pakistan 2021. In fact, this is the second consecutive conference, and despite the fact of widespread pandemic of COVID-19, Department of Rheumatology at Sheikh Zayed Hospital has been successful to organize such a wonderful conference, and I'm grateful to Professor Fazal and his team. Well, it's an area between psychiatry and rheumatology. As far as symptoms are concerned, there is quite a huge amount of overlap between symptoms of psychiatry and symptoms of rheumatology. We'll come back to this topic, and I will present one of our studies which we conducted together way back in 2003. Me and Professor Fazal joined this institute way back at the beginning of millennium and spent quite a good time together. We shared the same office and we shared many ideas regarding this overlap of rheumatology and psychiatry. I have been trying to show the dedication and the commitment of Professor Tofazliak Mahmood, but couldn't keep pace as he is a very, very learned and committed person as far as the field of rheumatology is concerned. During our initial conversations and sharing, being at the same place, we both realized that majority of the patients suffering from rheumatological disorders and patients of psychiatric disorders, they have many symptoms in common. And from then, we decided to conduct a study. And Dr. Naima Afzal took the initiative, and we planned a very simple but important study. We included 36 patients of chronic non-specific musculoskeletal pain of 4 to 24 weeks duration, and equal number of healthy individuals were included in the study. Pain assessment was done by scoring total number of pain sites on digital palpation to get total pain score, TPS. And depression was measured by Global Health Questionnaire was administered to all participants who obtained their GHQ depression score. The GHQ depression score of patients 20.47 plus minus 2.19 was significantly high with a p-value of p less than 0.001 as compared to the control 3.11 plus minus 1.8. The GHQ depression score and the TPS score correlated significantly in patients. The p-value is 0.001. And it was seen that patient with chronic non-specific musculoskeletal pain suffers from significant level of depression in direct correlation to the pain. And as we go deep into the study, age and gender characteristics of the sample, you can see the control was 36 and patients were 36. And as far as age is concerned, there was no significant difference. And most of the patients and control, they were middle-aged people, 25 to 54 years of age. But there was female patients were almost double the number of male patients. And as far as pain characteristics and depression index is concerned, you can see here that duration of pain was 4 to 24 weeks, and the total pain score was 3 to 18. As far as GHQ score was concerned, it was 0 to 8 in control, and it was 9 to 31 as far as patients are concerned. And when we charted out, we found out that there was a positive linear association between total pain score and GHQ score. As you can appreciate, as the pain score increases to the right, the Global Health Questionnaire depression score also increases. And there is a clear-cut positive linear relationship. From this study, we concluded that pain-mediated depression warrants recognition. Once depression ensues, it enhances pain perception and hence complicates pain management. Then a vicious cycle of pain and depression needs to be broken through an individualized holistic approach. This is what the purpose of this presentation is, to adopt an approach which can see patient individually and assessing the rheumatological complaints and at the same time the suffering in terms of psychological complaints. And let me go into a review of literature. There are many studies on this topic, but I have picked a few. Patrick G. et al. Conducted a study to explore this overlapping area between psychiatry and rheumatology. And they conducted the study through referrals to the rheumatology clinics. And they divided rheumatological disorders in three categories: connective tissue diseases, non-systemic articular and periarticular disorders, and non-articular or other disorders. As you can see, when they were assessed for psychiatric illnesses, psychiatric disorders, psychiatric sufferings, you can find that overall, all these three categories, around 26% of the patients, they had some sort of psychiatric illness when they are suffering from connective tissue disorders. And this incidence rises to almost 39% in non-systemic articular or periarticular disorders. And it rises to almost 55% when it was assessed in patients suffering from monoarticular or other disorders. So this study highlighted quite well that there is an overlap between rheumatological complaints, rheumatological disorders, and psychiatric illnesses, anxiety, depression, somatoform disorders. And in many patients, you could diagnose patients with multiple psychiatric disorders. And in another study done by Iman et al., they assessed patients suffering from rheumatoid arthritis for the possibility of comorbid psychiatric disorders. And what they found out, depressive disorders, anxiety disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, phobic disorders, obsessive compulsive disorders, panic disorders, somatoform disorders, and schizophrenia. Amongst them, the most common were depressive disorders. And they found out that 45% of the patients suffering from rheumatoid arthritis, they also suffer from depressive illness. And going through the rest of the literature review, we could see that SLE is a disorder where you often see psychiatric manifestations. And literature tells us that all the patients suffering from SLE, they suffer with psychiatric disorders at the same time. Neuropsychiatric manifestations were found in 37 to 95% of the patients. Cognitive impairment was found out in 55 to 80% of the patients. Mood disorders, 14% to 57%, and anxiety disorders, 7 to 28%. And there were few patients of psychosis. So whenever a rheumatologist sees a patient of SLE, he should keep in mind the possibility of these neuropsychiatric manifestations. In this overlapping area of rheumatology and psychiatry, there is sort of two-way relationship. We psychiatrists, patients, and most common disorder which you come across is depressive illness. And this is in our common everyday experience that majority of the patients suffering from depressive illness, they have numerous physical complaints. And the most common one is pain and fatigue. And at times we get stuck up that whether the person is having somatic symptoms of depression, or the patient is having some rheumatological or a physical illness which is causing physical symptoms as well as depression. So depression otherwise is a very, very common illness. And if majority of the patient have physical symptoms like aches and pains and myalgias and fatigue, so such symptoms should be very, very common in depressive illness. Depression is the most common psychiatric disorder and second leading cause of global burden of disease. It is commonly found associated with many chronic infectious, metabolic, neoplastic, genetic, and rheumatological illnesses. Primary depression has been documented as an additional risk factor for subsequent occurrence of physical illnesses. Depression is 2 to 3 times more common in rheumatoid arthritis patient than in general population, as we have seen in one of the reviews. Degree of depression varies in proportion to level of the pain, as we have seen in our own study that there was a positive linear relationship. Pain and fatigue are symptoms of depression that we have already seen. Chronic rheumatological pain is associated with depression that we have already seen. Pain-mediated depression has been linked to raised cortisol level, raised cytokine-mediated TNF-alpha, and it is in the common observation that patient treated for pain with corticosteroids, they cause depression as well. Now, if we explore further this area of overlap between rheumatology and psychiatry, there are many questions which remain unanswered. Probably many of those questions will be answered if we could go into detail of psychoneuroimmunology. That has been a fascinating interest of myself and Professor Tafazzal. Huge amount of research is being done in this area. And let me give you one simple example. There are illnesses in which we find psychiatric disorders, psychiatric sufferings quite commonly, and so far no physical cause has been found. One such condition is irritable bowel syndrome. Me and Professor Azim Taj, we done 2 studies on IBS patients, and what we found out is around 70% of the patients suffering from IBS presenting to gastrointestinal gastroenterology, and we assessed them for the possibility of psychiatric disorders. And what we found out is around 70% of the patients, they had some psychiatric illness, and most common was again uh, depression. So maybe future research will highlight and will teach us what the common etiological factors are, how our biological existence is being governed or monitored by our psychological well-being or suffering. So this is something for the future. Thank you very much. I am again grateful to Professor Fazliak Mahmood for giving me such a chance to talk to you. Thank you.